Hey, 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 hey. It's Wednesday. Hey, I was enjoying that one. Do 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 do. Hey y'all, it's Wednesdays. Y'all caught me in hard this week. Excuse me. That's my bike and my things. I'm road tripping, and it's nice. It's so nice. Thank you. So I'm headed back home, so I had to stop and do one Wednesdays because I got this good heat for you today. The heat, Lord. I got the message from the heart. Strings and the chords, Lord. Thank you. As y'all can tell, I am feeling great today. I be feeling great a lot of days, though. I be so happy when I wake up and I'm living. It's like always beautiful. So today, I want to talk to you guys about massive imperfect action. Because it's so important. It's so important. So this is something that is really close to me because, in life, it's like we learn lessons, but I guess God made us like this because as humans, it's not like you just learn the lesson and then you get it and then you good. That would be like, I don't know, some other shit. But as humans, we learn lessons and then we have to learn more lessons and more lessons. And the lessons really just never stop. We just are forever students and forever babies, it seems like. That's the stage of enlightenment when you when you truly understand that you never can stop learning lessons. So this lesson is a reoccurring thing in my life, but I'm learning that when the quicker I take it and practice massive imperfect action, the more success and happiness that is brought to me in life. So I used to fight this process, and really what fighting the process looks like is not starting, feeling stuck, feeling like, you're stuck. You can't do anything. You know what you want to do. You might have goals, but you're just like, what do I do now? What is the next step? Um, and so you just get stuck. And that a lot of times comes from this sense of not necessarily that you don't know what to do, because a lot of the times we do know a lot of what to do. You just don't know which one to choose. But here's the thing. When you're starting out in the beginning, it doesn't matter. What your step one seems like, and arguably,
Arguably.
arguably, arguably, step one is actually the hardest step because there's no momentum behind it. And that's really what you're feeling. But as hard as it is, step one's the hardest step, but it's the least important step. It's the least important. Like, when you take the first step and you start something, it literally doesn't even matter. Okay? Think about, like, if you're like, oh, I want to be healthier, right? I want to lose weight. If step number one is drinking water, do you understand, like, when you get to your goal weight of, like, 100 pounds lost, right? When you get to that goal weight, you drinking water, as much as it was hard and as much as it does matter because it's the cat that started your journey, it's so minute in the grand scheme of things that it's like a tapestry, right? Like the tapestry, all of the threads matter, but when you step back and see the bigger picture, it's like that thread is so freaking small, it barely matters. So when you get to losing weight, you're going to have to drink more water. eat more vegetables, move your body, change your mindset. It's so many different moving parts. You literally choose one catalyst, and it takes you to a whole world of things. So that's how the first step is. It does matter. I don't want to say that it doesn't matter, because your first step does matter. However, in the grand scheme of things, it's like 0.003, 0.1%. You know, it's a very small, important part of the journey. All you have to do is literally start. Take the first step. Drink the water. Commit to moving every day. And the reason why this step is so hard is because you don't have any momentum. But here's the great thing about momentum, is that once you take that first step and you start to go, momentum carry you. Almost like gravity. Like, momentum will have it so that eventually you're not even using half of the energy it took you to take the first step when you get to step 30, right? At that point, your momentum is going so strong that you're literally almost floating into the next phase. Now, you have to still keep the momentum, of course, but that first step, you're starting from a place with no movement. Okay, so have you ever? It can be so hard. Have you ever had to push a car that's in neutral?
Yeah.
Now, we're over here talking about hell yeah.
By myself.
Oh, you did it by yourself?
Up a hill.
He said up a hill. I think he lying at this point. But uh, if you ever had to put a car in neutral, right? The car's in neutral. You like, this is great. You know, it's in neutral. Good. We're going. Man, let me tell you, for the wheel to start, the first, like, when you start pushing, you just be pushing. It seems like you just pushing the brick wall for a minute, right? And I'm telling you, like, that is the hardest push ever. When you first start pushing the car, you be like, is it ever going to move? But for some reason, the energy just builds up. And finally, when the wheels start rolling, like when you get over the first roll, to that second roll, you be like, okay. And that third roll, and all of a sudden, y'all like pushing for real. And it gets to the point that even if you push it long enough, the person in the car will actually have to put brakes on to stop car, right? So that's just like real life. Takes forever, but once you get going, you'll actually have to do an adverse effect to stop it. It's what habits are, right? You get in the habit of doing something, that momentum gets going, you ain't even got to think about it anymore, all right? So the reason why massive imperfect action is so important, because the importance of starting is greater than the importance of getting it right. And the reason why is because you, first of all, will never get it perfect. There are people out here who have been losing weight for all their lives, and every day they still have to wake up and learn things about their body. There's people who started businesses, 40 years ago, and they still have to wake up and learn in their business. So you'll never get it right. Excuse me. You'll get it right. You'll never get it perfect. Because perfect is an illusion. Nothing's perfect. It's literally an illusion. So you can erase that now. But if you wait to get it perfect, you'll never start. But if you start now, you will be way closer to perfect than if you didn't start. Let me turn that off, because apparently there's a gas shortage out here, y'all. I just paid $400. I said $400.
You know what it felt like.
I just paid $4.69 for a couple of gallons of gas, and I don't know why, like in Atlanta, people don't got gas, or it's like $5 right now. But they say an hour outside the city, they got gas. So I don't know what's going on, but I had to remind myself to turn off the car because I'm like, yo, it's been 10 minutes. Got to make sure I got gas. Anyway, massive imperfect action. So when you take the action, right, the only way to get to this zone of rightness, this zone that feels good. And I like metaphors, but that zone is like the habit zone. The reason why habits are so important in life is because they let your brain shut off, and it's an automatic response at that point, right? So it's the same thing when you get the momentum going in that massive imperfect action, you get into that zone where you're not having to think as much to do it. You're used to doing it now. And that momentum that builds, it catapults you into greatness. Whatever it is. If you're in weight loss, it'll catapult you. Like your first 10 pounds, so much harder. Oh my God. Oh my God. When I was 350 pounds, my first 20 pounds, I could have been like cussing each pound out, like literally individually. Like, hey, pound one, fuck you. It was hard. I'm not going to lie. The first 20 pounds was like, I felt like I had to go to the gym 3 times a day. I had to only drink water and eat not a goddamn thing. Like, it was like, okay? But right now, if you're like, yo, Cherette, you need to lose 20 pounds, I'm like, bet, give me till next week. Like, I'm good. Like, it's a lifestyle. Like, I know how to achieve the things that I want. It's like second nature. I fast ever so often throughout the year now. So it's like I can go in a state of fasting like this, like my momentum with weight loss, because I'm 155 pounds in at this point. So it's like I have a momentum to losing weight. It's nothing. Like, I won't say it's nothing. I ain't just, like out here shedding pounds in the middle of the street, but it's very different from my first 20. That's universal principle, guys. Whatever you're trying to do is universal principle that the more experience you have, the easier it is. I mean, think about when you first started your job. Think about when you first started being a parent. When you a new parent, y'all, I be seeing y'all. Don't be lying. Y'all be out here looking at these babies like, so how we gonna do this today? Like, first time parents don't know what the hell they're doing. It's all trial and error. Everything is trial and error. It doesn't matter. And the beauty of it is when you step outside of your mundane process of whatever you do and you start something new and you go to trial and error and you take massive imperfective action, that actually sets off connections in your brain. So Ray picked up a book called Supernatural, y'all. I don't endorse no books like that. That's a lie. I do. I be telling y'all hella books to read. But this book, I only read about 3 pages, and it's changed my life already. But it was saying that staying in the present moment it was breaking it down in a scientific way. Now, I believe that the only way to live life is stay in the present moment. Now, it's something that I'm still practicing strongly in my life, but when you're not able to stay in the present, you're not able to view the world as it is. And when you don't view the world as it is, you cannot take assessment of what's really going on. So it really puts you in a place that it's not, your mind can put you into a state that's not relative to what is going on in life, like in real life. So you be mad at someone, and like, y'all ever had a dude like get your number and you like, okay, so it's been 5 days, clearly this nigga don't want to talk to me, I'm done. I can't believe I wasted my time. And he called, you be like, yo, my dog died. You know what I'm saying? I've been, my bad. And you was totally angry over something that truly happened in your mind. Like, it was not a game. You can make up so many stories. You be like, he met another girl. It was the clothes I had on. Like, you'll make up all these stories. But because you're not in the present, you're not even connected to the fact that you don't know what's going on. And if you connect to the fact that you don't know what's going on, that makes life so much more simple because you can just say, okay, and then step back and let it play out because it's going to play out. So your mind, literally, it gets to this place where it's like making up present and past. I hate I don't know the exact word that I'm looking for here, but you're living in the past and living in the present, but that's not the real reality. I'll just put it like that, because when you're in your head, it's real. I never say that it's not real for anybody, because it is. So and that's why we have to learn how to move past and move in spite of emotion, right? Because that is the same thing that'll block you from moving. You can make up all of these scenarios about how life will go if I do this. Okay, so I'm 350 pounds and I want to lose weight. What are all of the scenarios that you can think of that could go wrong because you lose weight? Oh, the guy who I'm talking to won't talk to me. Oh, I have to buy new clothes. I hate shopping. And oh, I have this trauma, I'm not ready to let go, and so I just want to eat. So emotional eating is me living in the past. Me worrying about the guy leaving me is living in the future, and me having to buy clothes is kind of like, that's living in the future. None of them are present. And so if I'm focusing on these things, there's no way that I can focus on the present. And the present is that I love myself enough that I would start the journey to be healthier. And that's it. The present is right where you are. So if you can get to a point where you are right where you are, that's the golden nugget, because that is the point of massive imperfect action. What is massive imperfect action? That is taking massive action and doing it ugly, doing it fucked off, not having stuff right and doing it anyway, feeling scared and doing it anyway, not understanding how it's all going to come together and doing it anyway. Massive perfective action will get you to success 100% of the time. No action will get you to failure 100% of the time. Massive imperfect action will get you to success 100% of the time. No action will get you to failure 100% of the time. That is universal principle, okay? Because when you move in spite of, when you take action regardless of, you have to be rewarded, right? Because that is a sacrifice. And y'all know when you sacrifice, stuff pops off. That's why we fast and we pray when we want something. That's why when they say, what do they say? Who is they, first of all? No. A relationship's like about give and take. It's about that. Is that how it goes? Anyway, it's the same in relationships, though. When you do a little sacrifice, and don't get me wrong, I don't believe in sacrifice like by your standards, okay? Don't y'all be out here sacrificing your standards. That's some bullshit, okay? Public service announcement. But when you sacrifice your ego in this moment to care about someone else, to let them be your mirror, that's literally what the relationship is. It's sacrificing you wanting to be right so you can sit back and listen. That's what that means, and it works. Every time you sacrifice in a situation like that in a relationship, you and your partner will be that much more connected, that much more together. It's a success rate every time. And so whatever you have to do it scared. Do it anyway. Be scared, be a wuss, let it be ugly. All right? Look, I can show y'all a lot of companies with horrible ass logos who are still making money. It don't matter. Do it ugly. You ain't got no color in your brand, post anyway. What?
JR Crickets.
Oh, I love it because I just said that and I'm right in front of JR Crickets and they have no logo on the door. All they have is literally JR Crickets 404-330-8874.
And they might have parking space left.
They don't have no parking space left. But they did it anyway and they in there selling chicken. So they doing it. They have massive imperfect action around here. Y'all, their door is crazy looking. And y'all know, y'all have bought from people. Y'all have gone in the stores. And you be like, dang, these people don't care. But the chicken is good anyway. Can I get an amen in the back, Lord? We buy and support people in massive imperfect action all the time. And here's the reason why. Humans love to support. We love to support. People will tell you they selfish in a day, but humans are naturally tribal beings. When you ask somebody to come on with you and do something with you, they want to do it. We are tribal people, okay? So people love to hop onto your success story. When someone is feeling uninspired, it's our culture, guys. It is literally our culture. When we are feeling uninspired, when we don't feel like we have the tools, we like to hop onto other people's stuff. So I can't tell y'all how many pounds I lost to other people, okay? Because I've lost over 150 pounds, and along the way, I've had so many people like, oh, I want to do this with you. Oh, you be my buddy, do this. Let's drop the weight together. But I shared my journey, okay? I've been sharing my journey. If you go on my Instagram page right now and you go to some odd years ago, I was cooking sausages and eggs. I was eating boiled eggs and wheat toast with peanut butter and honey. And I was like, my healthy breakfast time. Now I'm like, bitch, I don't eat breakfast. I had to take massive imperfect action. I knew that this boiled egg would get me closer to health than still eating my old pizza from last night. And I couldn't continue to eat the old pizza from last night, so I was like, let me try out this egg. And now, do I have a better understanding of how that egg was horrible for me? Yes, of course. But I would have never got that knowledge if I didn't take massive imperfect action and start with boiled egg. So I know sometimes when you need to start, it's not going to feel right. It's not going to look pretty. You're going to be scared. You're going to doubt yourself. One of the things that we have to understand is that we're all humans. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Are you a human? 'Cause I'm a human. I love it. And as a human, you're going to have emotions. Now, those emotions are really good to flow through, but we cannot allow them to navigate our lives. Because if you're navigating your life through emotions, you have already lost. You're done. It's over. Because your emotions are based on past experiences that you've had and what you think will happen in the future. Your emotions are, I be careful how I be wording stuff, y'all. I be trying to, your emotions are very rarely in tune with the present. Because if they were, then you probably wouldn't be as emotional about whatever is going on. If you were present with everything that's going on, there would be more of a calm energy surrounding you, surrounding your experience. So, if you're being driven again from the past and the present, that is what holds you up from taking action, from growing, from starting. We have to be one and present with what's going on right now and take massive imperfect action. Because if you never start, you're going to fail. If you never start, you're going to fail. So you have to start. That's step one. And it doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, I really want it not to be perfect. I want it to be ugly and fucked up. And I want you to be like, you know what? I'm starting anyway. That's literally where the sauce is. We spend so much time behind the scenes trying to get things right before we start that we don't even understand that the best y'all, my words are short today. They long, Lord. I'm not claiming short words. I have all the words that I need in this moment. But we spend a lot of time behind the scenes trying to get things right. But our best teacher and our best form of experience is literally in the experience. So what I find most times is that when I've tried to make everything look good and look right and then I start and I've done all of this homework, all of these things, and I start and I'm like, oh, well, I kind of didn't need all that if I just did this. You know? It's like when you go to school and you find a job, then you get in the job and you're like, we didn't learn none of this in school and I have to learn it again anyway, you know? So don't be held back. If you have a desire, it's literally electromagnetic force, a divine electric magnetic force within you that's telling you to go. Listen to it. Listen. If you have an urge to be healthier, do it. Put more vegetables on your plate, more water. If you want to start a business, do it. Get an Instagram page. Figure out how you sell a shirt. Do it. You have a divine electromagnetic connection with whatever your desire is, because that's what your desire is connecting with you. And in order to live a life full of purpose, full of everything you desire, everything you want and need, you're going to have to move on that pulse. When you have that connection, you have to move on. And through the move, you will find that you will get lessons upon lessons upon lessons. They will never stop. And that will catapult you into the area that you want to be. Where you are now is here, and this is where you want to be. And the only thing that's in between, the only thing that's stopping you from reaching this height is massive imperfect action. You have an imperfect action, and you learn from it, and you take another imperfect action, and you learn from it, and then you take another imperfect action, and you learn from it. Take another imperfect action, and you learn from it. And that's where you find success. That's where you find your divine purpose. Okay? Okay. Thanks for sitting in on my Cherette talk. I hope that find something that you want to start and take massive imperfect action today. And comment and tell me what it is and how it works. I want to know. I want to know what y'all are doing. Y'all got to take action around here because we're successful. All right? Thank you for tuning in to my Wellness Wednesdays. I will see y'all next week, same time, but probably a different place. Toodles.
just your choice.